Francisco Board of Supervisors has unanimously passed legislation that bans the San Francisco Police Crime Lab from storing and/or using any victim DNA for criminal investigations. The move is in response to the police department doing just that earlier this year when officers used DNA from a rape victim to tie her to an unrelated property crime. San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin was the first to reveal this practice, and he's joining us now to talk more about how city leaders have responded. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good to be with you.
So first off, what was your reaction when you first became aware of what the department was doing?
I was shocked. I was horrified. I mean, there's nothing more important to me in my office than being able to hold people who commit crimes accountable. And we can't do that if victims don't report crime, if they don't trust us to cooperate with our prosecutions. And these kinds of practices are not only illegal, but they also serve as very serious deterrents to victims coming forward and cooperating with law enforcement. I wanted to do everything in my power to reassure survivors of sexual assault and any violent crime that if they come forward and cooperate with law enforcement, we will stand with them, we will support them, and we will not use their own DNA profiles against them.
And you were told by someone at the police crime lab that this was apparently a standard procedure. Now, has your office found anything to suggest that there might be other victims whose DNA was used in a similar way?
We know that the San Francisco Police Department Crime Lab is still in the process of doing an exhaustive audit of cases going back many, many years. This database dates back at least 7 years. And we know that the database has resulted in DNA hits on a number of occasions. So we are still waiting for more clarity on whether any of those hits involve victims who were later prosecuted. Certainly, we want to make that right if it ever did happen. And we want to make sure it doesn't happen anywhere else in the state of California either. We're super supportive of the work the Board of Supervisors did here at the local level. And we're proud of our partnership with State Senator Scott Wiener and Assemblymember Phil Ting, who have joined together with our office to introduce state legislation that would prohibit crime labs anywhere in the state of California from storing or using victim DNA profiles in the way that was done here in San Francisco.
Right, because right now the ordinance does not apply to DNA databases operated by state or federal law enforcement agencies, correct?
That's right, and the action led by Supervisor Hillary Ronen and unanimously supported by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors is an ordinance that affects San Francisco's crime lab only, and we recognize this may be a problem statewide. So we're appreciative of the leadership, State Senator Scott Wiener and Assemblymember Phil Ting from the San Francisco State Legislative Delegation have showed in taking this issue to Sacramento and leading the way in sending a message to victims that we will respect their privacy, we will encourage them to come forward and cooperate with law enforcement, and we will never use their own DNA profiles against them.
And Mr. Boudin, my understanding is you're choosing not to charge the woman whose rape kit was used to link her to that unrelated property crime, and she's now planning to sue the police department. Do you think that she's justified in doing so?
Well, what I can tell you is we had initially filed criminal charges against her. It was in the course of that prosecution that we learned the police had identified her by using her own DNA from a prior sexual assault case years earlier. And after evaluating the case and the evidence, it was our office's view that the evidence was obtained illegally and we could not use it in court. And without it, we couldn't prove the case. So we did dismiss that case against her. I don't have a legal opinion about the validity of her lawsuit. I will say that I was horrified by what happened to her, and I'm doing everything in my power to ensure that no other survivor of sexual assault ever goes through what she went through.
And San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott, he's publicly supported this legislation. You know, have you heard from him at all, or the police department, since this legislation was passed?
Not on this issue. I talked to Chief Scott regularly. We were on the phone yesterday a couple of times. And when I first learned about this a couple months ago, he was one of the first phone calls I made. I wanted him to be aware his crime lab was doing this. I don't think he was aware of this practice. And he's been outspoken in his support for this legislation and for ensuring that sexual assault survivors can come forward and cooperate with confidence and with trust. He and I know, share a commitment to eliminating barriers to reporting to encouraging and incentivizing survivors of crime to cooperate. We know that lack of cooperation is a regular hurdle that both of our departments have to overcome in order to hold people who commit crimes accountable, in order to make San Francisco safe for everyone.
And in light of this new ban, what is your message to any sexual assault victims who might be hesitant about coming forward?
This ban will guarantee that you'll be protected, that your privacy will be protected, that your DNA profile will be used only for holding accountable the person who harmed you. We encourage you to come forward. We believe you. We have your back, and we will do everything we can to support you and to hold whoever harmed you accountable.
Okay. That was San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin. Thank you so much for joining us today.